last topic on natural language processing. So natural language processing is a part of text mining. It is a part of your text mining, right? So in the text mining, we are having with respect to one of the thing is natural language processing, where it is going to process the natural language, right? Now in the text mining, we are having with respect to this, in the last class, we have seen how to process a text data. What are the steps involved when we are having a text data? For example, if you are having a structured data, right? In a structured data, first step is business problem understanding, followed by second one is that too. I'm writing structured data for a supervised learning, for a supervised. If it is a supervised learning, then first step is business problem understanding. Second step is data understanding. Third step is data pre-processing, where in this step we are having with respect to data cleaning, data wrangling, train test split. And next we are having the modeling, and next we are having evaluation. And this evaluation, whatever the accuracy we have got, and model selection. Along with that, model selection is our model is either overfitted or underfitted, or with respect to, and test accuracy is equal to cross validation score. Okay, our overfitting and underfitting, and cross validation. These three comes under model selection. This part comes under model selection, whether your model is a good model or a bad model. Based on this, we are going to identify. Now, this we have done in the structured data, right? Structured data supervised. Similarly, text data. Similarly, if you are having the text data, or if you are having image data, okay. Again, text data supervised. Let us take the supervised. What are the steps we have done is first, business problem understanding. Here also the same to same. Business problem understanding. We have understand the business problem, that we have to classify the whether the given mail is a spam mail or a ham mail. And second one, data understanding. And third step is data pre-processing. Here also we have done the text cleaning, where the text cleaning involves with respect to the removal of punctuations, removal of stop words, and along with the stemming or lemmatization, bringing to the base word. Next, data wrangling. So the test here data wrangling, here the data cleaning is equal to here text cleaning. Here the data wrangling is equal to vectorization. The same thing, in our case it is called as vectorization. And next, train test split. We are also going to do here also train test split. Next, modeling. Here also we are going to apply the same kind of modeling, that is Naive-Bayes theorem. We have applied with respect to called as Naive-Bayes theorem, modeling. Next, we have evaluated. After evaluation, we have done the model selection, same to same. And if the model is satisfying the business requirement, miss, will stop. If the model is not satisfying the business requirement, miss, we are going to try with the different models, right? This is a text data, and this is a structured data. If it is in a tabular format, also the same thing we are going to do. If it is in the text data, also we are going to do the same. Now coming to the same structured data, what are the structured data is the unsupervised one. If you go with the unsupervised, what are the steps are involved? First step, business problem understanding. Second one, data understanding. If you remember our K-means clustering, in the K-means clustering, business problem understanding is we have to cluster the customers. We have to divide the customers based on the common parameters. And the second one is data understanding. After that, we are going to do the data pre-processing. That is again data cleaning and data wrangling. That is encoding and missing values treatment, whatever it is. Train test split, we are not going to do here train test split, because there is no train test split. We are not having any kind of text data or text answers. We are not having. The answers are not available with us. So we are not going to compare, or we are not going to test that one, right? Next, we are having with respect to modeling. We have done directly the modeling. And here the evaluation, we have not done any kind of evaluation. Just we have applied the clustering technique, where the clustering technique is combining the similarities. which are having the similarities, those we have grouped. The data was grouped. Okay. This is the unsupervised machine learning in the K-means or hierarchical clustering or DB-scan clustering, whatever we have done. Do you remember, right? Now the same thing, now in this today's class, for the text data, we are going to do for the text data also unsupervised. What is unsupervised means? First, we are going to understand the business problem. Second, we are going to do the data understanding. Next, we are going to do the data pre-processing, where data cleaning in the text is equal to text cleaning. That is removal of punctuation, removal of stop words, and stemming or lemmatization. Next, here data wrangling is equal to, in the text data wrangling is equal to vectorization. We are going to do the vectorization. And here we have done the modeling called as clustering. Here the modeling, whatever the model we have done is called as clustering. Here the model, whatever we are going to do is called as topic modeling. The name is called as topic modeling. Here it is called as clustering. Here it is called as topic modeling. The concept name is called as topic modeling. Okay. Where ultimately you are going to group. What you are going to do in the clustering finally, you are going to group the similar objects. Finally, you are going to group the similar objects. Here also we are going to group the similar objects. Same to same, no difference. Just instead of here clustering algorithm, we have to apply the topic modeling algorithm. That's it. That is the only difference which we are having. Right? So if you remember, now in today's class, if you want to understand the topic modeling very easy way, in a easy way, complete easy way, look on this. Where first we have imported the libraries, whatever the libraries we required. First we have imported the libraries. After that, we have loaded the data. After that, we have done with respect to the data cleaning or encoding. Okay. Next, we have done with respect to K-means algorithm. And here, finally, we identified the best K value as 5. Now, by using this 5, whatever the best K-means algorithm 5 is there, by using that K-means of 5, what we have done finally, we have grouped. And finally, we have done with respect to the clustering. The first record belongs to cluster 1. The second record belongs to cluster 3. This record belongs to cluster 1. This record belongs to cluster 3. So we have grouped the data, and which of the records belongs to same cluster, we have grouped them. Right? Just by applying the clustering algorithm, we have taken the number of clusters is equal to 5. Means 5 is number of groups, 5 groups. The entire data we have divided into 5 groups. Whatever the entire data is there, the entire data we have divided into 5 groups. And within that 5 groups, we have identified which record belongs to which group. First record belongs to which group, second record belongs to which group. Like this, just we have grouped the data. Right? The same thing we are going to do in this NLP also, which is called as topic modeling. In the topic modeling also, we are having the same to same as it is. For example, let us take like this. The librarian, if the librarian is having overall 10,000 books with him and he want to segregate that one, how he is going to segregate? Java related books he is going to keep in one location. Okay. With respect to Python related books, he is going to keep in one location. Machine learning related books in one location. Like this, they are going to segregate that one, right? The same thing, the segregation or the clustering or grouping of similarities is called as topic modeling. So the same 47 books, if I give as the input data, after, for example, if you take one of the example like that, whatever the 47 textbook names, titles are there, if you create an Excel sheet, inside the Excel sheet, if you write the topic name, heading name, each textbook heading name, and you give the, I want to divide the entire 47 books into 4 parts. Not equally, 100% they are not equal. Maybe one of them may have with the 25 books, one of them may have only 2 books. But similar, which are similar textbooks are there, those belongs to one group. Just here you are going to group, do the grouping. Grouping means nothing but clustering technique, which is an unsupervised machine learning. This is also one of the unsupervised one. Within the text, this is the unsupervised algorithm, right? So supervised, we have completed the text classification by using Naive Bayes theorem. Now we are going to move on to the next one called as unsupervised. Now here, whatever the words are there, whatever the things are there, just it is going to identify the topics. Whichever the common thing are there, that topics it is going to create. So it is going to process, find the topics from the documents in an unsupervised manner. Right? And text mining approach. So here the text mining approach to find the recurring patterns in the text documents. Okay. Now for this, we are going to use a technique called as LDA. The algorithm name is called as LDA. Concept name is called as topic modeling and algorithm name is called as LDA. They are also the same. Clustering is the topic name and the algorithm name is K-means. K-means is the algorithm name. Similarly, hierarchical clustering is the algorithm name. Clustering is the topic. So here also we are having LDA. So this LDA, for example, let us take like this. Document 1, I want to have fruits from my breakfast. For my breakfast, I want the fruits. Document 2, I like to eat almonds, eggs and fruits. Document 3, I will take fruits and biscuits with me while going to zoo. Document 4, the zookeeper feeds the lion very carefully. Document 5, one should give the good quality biscuits to their dogs. So these are the 5 sentences I am having. Now in these 5 sentences, what I am going to do, the repeating group of statistical significant tokens or words in a corpus. What is corpus? What is meant by corpus? Set of sentences. The above, whatever the set of sentences are there, they are called as corpus. Now here, what I am going to do, in this topic 1, I am going to select the topic 1 related to fruits, eggs and biscuit, which is related to food. Topic 1 is food. Topic 2 is related to animals. These are the 2 different topics. Now tell me, first document comes under which topic? Topic 1 or topic 2? Topic 1. Second document comes under which topic? Third one comes under which topic? 1. Fourth one comes under which topic? 2. Fifth one? Simple. Just based on, first we have to identify the topic. What is the common thing is there? And here the fruits, eggs, biscuits, all these related to with respect to food, category of food category. Whereas lion, dogs, zoo, all this comes under one more topic. The topic name is animals. Here topic name is not important. Here the topic name I am not going to give. This belongs to one topic. All this related to one. This related to one. Okay. Just it is identifying with respect to related topics and based on that it is going to classify the data. I mean group the data. That is called as topic model. Now first I am going to import the pandas and I am going to take a data set where in this data set I am having the sentences, multiple sentences. The first one is document 1. Second one is document 2, document 3, document 2, document 4, document 5. Like this I am having multiple documents. Total, the list of documents, how many list of documents I have selected is NPR. NPR is the data frame name I have created, npr.info. Okay, total I am having with respect to 200 documents. Now these 200, within these 200 documents, I want to create the topics and based on the topics, I want to segregate them. So this first one belongs to which topic? And related topics, whatever the related articles are there, those related articles I want to post in the one area. For example, you are having a newspaper. In the newspaper, we are having all the related topics related to business, related topics. Within the newspaper, there is a column called as business. Within the business, all the topics, whatever the topics we are having, like Adani shares has been fall today with 20%, right? That is going to be the heading in the tomorrow's. Today, Adani share has fallen with respect to 20% due to one Hindenburg with respect to research. Whatever the article they have published, based on that, Adani shares has fallen with respect to 20%. This is going to be the topic name in the tomorrow's newspaper. And along with that, Reliance shares, about Reliance shares or with respect to all these things, we are going to see in the business column within the newspaper in the business. Similarly, related to cinema, movies. Okay, like for example, Salar movie dialogue has been leaked. Okay, one of the dialogue. that dialogue that we are going to see in the headings. Salar movie dialogue was leaked and it is trending in the Instagram or in the YouTube, right? And we are having related to sports. Whatever the sports is there, the sports, all the sports related things are in the same area, right? Now, what we are going to do, we are having in the certain articles are there, multiple articles are there in the newspaper, out of which of them belongs to the sports, which of them belongs to business, which of them belongs to movies. That movies, we are going to keep in the movies area. Whichever related to business, we are going to keep in the business. Whichever related to sports, we are going to keep in the sports column, so that the user will feel the easiness. If you keep in the first page business, in the first page also you keep the about the movie, if in the first page also if you keep about the news, general news, if you keep everything, then the user will not get that much of interest towards reading that one. So what they have done is, by separating the data like this, they have increased the business. They increase the business, that is their newspaper circulation. How they have increased their newspaper circulation is by keeping all the related documents of sports in one area. They have grouped that articles into one, right? Similarly, here also the same. So you are having 200 articles are there. Now in these 200 articles, I want to group them. Just I want to group them. Which are related articles, I want to group them into one. Now what I am going to do, first text pre-processing. Okay, text pre-processing, out of which first one is text cleaning. I am going to do the text cleaning. So in the text cleaning, first I am going to remove the punctuations. After that, remove the stop words. After that, I am going to apply stemming or lemmatization. Here also basically we have to apply the stemming only, but here I have applied the lemmatization. Okay, instead of applying the stemming, I have applied the lemmatization. Why? What is the reason? Generally, we have to apply stemming only. You don't apply the lemmatization, you apply stemming only. I applied the lemmatization. Why? Because the output, whatever the output it is going to show you, you have to understand, right? So that is the reason I have done the lemmatization. First, I have done the stemming only. After doing the stemming, whatever the words it is going to give as the output, we are not able to understand. So for students, they'll not understand. That is the reason I have done the lemmatization. Okay. For understanding purpose only, I have done the lemmatization. Now here, after that, I'm going to do the vectorization. That is count vectorizer. Now we are going to apply the modeling. So from sklearn.decomposition, import LDA. And here I'm going to divide the entire data into 4 components, 4 parts, right? Now, once this is done, now we are having with respect to multiple words are there. These many words are there. Using these words, I have divided the data. Now, from each topic, if you want to see the top 10 words from the topic number 1, that is first class as 0, group 1, group 2, group 3. So total 4 groups are there. Out of 4 groups, this is the first group where these are the top 10 words. These are the top 10 words: people, house, Republican, Russia, year, Obama, president, Trump. These comes under, if these words are there, that comes under this group, right? Similarly, I'm having total 4 groups are there. Now, if you want to check, see here, the first one is there. The first one, after doing the transformations, I have got the first record with respect to 4. What is the probability it goes to the first group, second group, third group, and fourth group? Out of these 4, which is having the highest value, it belongs to that group. Okay. So you are transforming your data. For example, tomorrow you are having one more article. A new article is there. Okay. Article means some kind of sentence, some document is there. Here till now I have done the modeling. With this, the modeling was completed. Just I have fitted the data. Whatever the data I'm having, I have fitted the data. Modeling was completed. Now what I'm going to do, this, whatever the LDA dot transform means I'm going to transform the entire data. Once I have transformed in that first sentence, I'm selecting the first sentence. For the first sentence, this is the first one, second one, third one, and fourth one. Out of these 4, which is having the argmax. Argmax means, what is meant by argmax? The argument which is having with respect to maximum value. The first value, What is the first value? 9.9 into 10 to the power of minus 1. What is meaning of this? 0.99. This is 0.37 into 10 to the power of minus 4. I mean 3.7 into 10 to the power of minus 4. This is 3.7 into 10 to the power of minus 4. 3.79 into 10 to the power of minus 4. This is 9.9 into 10 to the power of minus 1, which is equal to 0.99. So this is having the highest one, means it belongs to which topic? First one or second one or third one or fourth one? To which group? It belongs to group number 1. So now just I am going to apply the same logic, and now I am going to see with respect to which group they belongs to. Each of them belongs to which group. Is that clear? Just you are going to group them. Just whatever we have done in the clustering technique, the same way we are going to do here also. Is that clear, guys? Any questions? Just grouping of similar records into one. Topic modeling means grouping of similar records into one is called as topic modeling, which is also called as clustering in the structured data. For structured data, it is called as clustering. For text data, it is called as topic modeling. Both are same. Done? Any questions? Online and offline students. Is your questions, it is clear? This topic is clear or not? Done, guys? Next, in the natural language processing, now we are having different types of vectorization, out of which one of the vectorization we have seen called as count vectorizer. We have seen the one of them is called as count vectorizer. Now we are going to see one more type of vectorizer, which is also called as TF-IDF vectorizer. In the vectorization, we are having different types of vectorizers. The second type of vectorizer is called as TF-IDF vectorizer. Now, what is meant by TF-IDF vectorizer? TF-IDF vectorizer. TF means term frequency. This is called as IDF means inverse document frequency. Okay, TF-IDF full form is term frequency and inverse document frequency. TF stands for term frequency, IDF stands for inverse document frequency. Now, let us take an example. The previous example, whatever we have done, the same example. He is a good boy. He is a good boy. She is a good girl. Boy and girl are good. The same example, whatever we have considered for the count vectorizer, same example. Now here I am having 3 sentences. Sentences are also called as documents. Okay, in technically they are called as documents, and set of documents are called as corpus. This is a corpus, right? Now, in this corpus, the text, I am going to apply the text cleaning. First step I am going to do is called as text cleaning. I am going to do the text cleaning. After doing the text cleaning, what I am going to get? He is a good boy, out of which he and boy. He will be cancelled as the stop word. Is a. Everything will be cancelled and I will get a good boy. Punctuation mark also will be removed. Okay, whatever the punctuation I am having, this one also will be removed. And I am going to get only good boy. Similarly, this will be removed, this will be removed, this will be removed, and punctuation will be removed, and I will get a good girl. Next, punctuation is removed, R is removed, boy, girl, and good. This is the one which I am going to get, right? The same thing, whatever we have done in the previous class, that is in the first class. So first, let us take this same thing once again. till whatever we have done. Import NLTK, and I'm considering with respect to he is a good boy, she is a good girl, boy, girl are good. And sentences, first I'm going to divide them into 3 sentences. First sentence, second sentence, and third sentence. That is nothing but documents. And I'm going to apply the text cleaning. Once I do the text cleaning, I'm going to get good boy, good girl, boy, girl, good. This is the output. Now for this output, whatever the output you have got, for this output, if you are applying the count vectorizer, that is good boy, good girl, and boy, girl, good. If you apply the count vectorizer, which is also called as bag of words, first it is going to take the unique values. What are the unique words are there? That is first boy, next one is good or girl, followed by good. First one, 1, 0, 1. Next girl, 1, good, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. So this is the output which you have got in the count vectorizer. If you apply the count vectorizer, these are the things which we are going to get. That too, the first one is boy, second one is girl, followed by good. If you want to see them, cv dot get future names out. If you write this one, you can get what are the order of values it has considered. First boy it is going to take, after that girl it is going to take, after that good it is going to take. Whatever the order it has taken, if you want to see the order also means, you can write the word like get underscore future names. Future names means whatever the column names are there. Future names are also called as column names, right? So this first column is considered as a boy, second column is girl, and third column is good. This thing we have done in the count vectorizer. Now the same, whatever we are having, the same data, okay? The same data, that is once again, good boy, good girl, and boy, girl, good. Whatever we are having, boy, girl, good. Now this time, instead of count vectorizer, I am going to take TF IDF vectorizer. Now for TF IDF vectorizer also, it is going to do the same way, boy, girl, and good. It is going to take same way. But here, this time, I'm going to get a different values. Now, what is the difference between count vectorizer and this one? And when we have to use count vectorizer, when we have to use TF IDF vectorizer. Now here, the count vectorizer, what is the drawback in the count vectorizer means? It is going to give the same weightage for all of them. For all the words, it is going to give the same weightage. For example, here, if you observe here, good, good, good. In every sentence, good is there. Commonly, the word of good is there. Every time you are using the word of good, then there will be no importance for that word. For example, if you are saying, let us take, here I am asking you a question and you have answered. This is an easy question, just like 1 plus 2. And everyone has shouted that, sir, 3. Everyone shouted. And I also told that good. For this one also, if I say the good, and if I'm asking a difficult question and there also you're answering, I'm saying the good, then what is the difference? The good word is not having that much of importance if I'm using every time good, good, good commonly. Right? Now this, whatever the word we are having, the good word is not having that much of weightage. Right? So, but here it is going to give the same weightage for all the words. For all the different words, it is going to give the same weightage. But I want to identify within this sentence, which is having the highest weightage. Good is having highest weightage, or boy is having highest weightage. Similarly, in this one, good is having highest weightage or girl is having. In this, which is having the highest weightage. I want to have the, based on the weightages. That weightages, if you want to see, means that you have to go using the TF IDF vectorizer. Now, what happens TF IDF vectorizer? Boy will have somewhat more value when compared to your good word. For example, boy is having 0.9, assume, example. Good is having 0.8. When compared to your good word, boy will have the maximum weightage. Why? Because good is getting repeated 3 times, whereas boy is repeated 2 times. Which word is less repeated, that will have the high weightage. The words which are having the less number of times repetition, that particular word will have the high weightage in the TF-IDF vectorizer. The word, whatever the word is getting repeated every time, that will have the least weightage. Right? Now, how to calculate this TF-IDF? TF-IDF calculation. What is the calculation part of TF-IDF? TF means term frequency. TF stands for term frequency. Now, what is meant by term? Term is nothing but word. Whatever your word is there, word frequency. Term frequency is also called as word frequency. Right? Now, whatever your count vectorizer is there, right? That is 101, 1011, 111. Your count vectorizer is there, right? This count vectorizer is also considered as your term frequency. This is your term frequency directly. Now, whereas inverse document frequency, IDF, IDF of each term, it is going to calculate for term. So here, how many unique terms are there? What are the unique terms we are having in this particular example? We are having 3 unique terms. First one is boy, second one is girl, and third one is good. For each of them, you are going to calculate separately the IDF. Okay, IDF of boy, IDF of girl, and IDF of good. Separately, we have to calculate. How to calculate that one means the formula is 1 plus ln of n divided by df of t is the formula. 1 plus ln of n divided by df of t. So, for example, if I want to calculate IDF of boy, IDF of boy, I am going to show you an example with respect to boy. Now, 1 plus ln. Ln means nothing but log to base e. Log to base e. Where n is number of documents. Total, how many sentences are there here? How many documents are there in the given thing? 3 sentences are there. 3 divided by this particular boy, in how many sentences it is repeated? 2 sentences. So that is with respect to IDF of boy. Right? So where n is total number of documents, every time it is fixed. For if you are asking for IDF of girl also, the numerator is going to fix. Numerator is not going to change. If you take IDF of good also, the numerator is going to fix. The numerator is not going to change. The numerator is always fixed with number of documents. Denominator consists of the term df of t, whatever the function df of t is, number of documents, the number of documents in which the term t appears. The number of documents, the term is whichever the word, whatever the word you are considering, that word in how many documents that is appearing. So, for example, here girl in how many sentences, how many documents it is appearing? 2. So, 2. Good, how many? 3. So, write the 3. This is the IDF of each term. IDF of each term. IDF of boy, IDF of girl, and IDF of good. Is that clear? So if you calculate this value, log to base e with respect to 3 by 2, which is nothing but 0.4, some 0.405, you are going to get some value, approximately 405. Okay. And if you add 1 plus that one means 1.405 is the IDF of boy. Similarly, 1 plus 0.405, which is 1.405. This one is 1 plus log 1. Log 1 is 0, which is nothing but 1. So IDF of boy is 1.405. IDF of girl is 1.405. IDF of good is 1 in this particular data set. In this particular data set, this is the IDF values. Now what we are going to do, calculate the term frequency into inverse document frequency. That is nothing but TF into IDF. TF into IDF value. Okay, TF into IDF. That is nothing but 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. You are having this one, right? This is your TF. I'm multiplying with the IDF value. That is each value, whatever the value is there, the first value of T. That is here, whatever the value you have got, 1 into 1.405. Because this is the boy, right? For boy, whatever the TDF is there, 1 into 1.405. Similarly, 0 into what is the girl? IDF 1.405. Similarly, 1 into what is the IDF of good? 1. We have to write like this. Similarly, this one, 0 into boy, what is the IDF? 1.405. Similarly, 1 into 1.405. Similarly, 1 into 1. Next, last one, that is 1 into 1.405. Again, 1 into 1.405. And 1 into 1. Right? Once we have calculated these values, after calculating these values, that is 1 into 1.405, 1.405, 0, 1, 0, 1.405, 1, next 1.405, 1.405, and 1. Right? Now, what we have to do is, we have to do the normalization. After this, we have to do the normalization. What is meant by normalization means just 1.405 divided by square root of 1.405 whole square plus 0 square plus 1 square. Here 3 values are there, right? This one. This is the normalized value of this one. Similarly, what is the normalized value of this one? 0 divided by square root of 1.405 whole square plus 0 square plus 1 square. What is the normalized value of this one? 1 divided by square root of 1.405 whole square plus 0 square plus 1 square. Right? So these values, just we are going to do the normalization. Okay. Once the normalize is done, now whatever the value we are going to get, that is the normalized value of TF IDF vectorizer. Now we are going to get in this way. Now once we have done, this is the normalized value. Now out of these two, first one, good boy. Out of this, this is boy and this is good. Out of these two, which one has given the highest weightage? Boy was given highest weightage than good. Why? Because good was repeated in the all the documents. Good is getting repeated in all the documents. So that is the reason it is going to give this one. Sir, for example, let us take like this, sir. In the second sentence also there is a boy. First sentence boy is there. Second sentence boy is there. Third sentence boy is there. Similarly, first sentence good is there. Second sentence also good is there. Third sentence also good is there. Girl is there only in the second sentence. Okay. Assume you are having like this something. Now what happens in this sentence? The good and boy both of repeated multiple times. These both will have the same weightage. Because same number of words, same number of times getting repeated. So there is a same weightage. But if one of them is having with respect to like this is having a very less weightage and this is having very less weightage and this is having the highest weightage when compared to everything. Is that clear? So what is the difference between the count vectorizer and TF-IDF vectorizer? Means TF-IDF vectorizer will not have the same weightages for everything. The weightages will be different. That is the advantage of TF-IDF vectorizer. Is that clear? Same column names. Whatever the column names are there, first one is boy, second one is girl, and the third one is good. You can see the column names by using the get future names out. Is that clear? Now, last one, the topic in this we are having one more type of vectorizer is there. First type of vectorizer is called as count vectorizer. Second type of vectorizer is called as TF IDF vectorizer. Now the third type of vectorizer is called as n-grams. The third type of vectorizer is called as n-grams. There is a concept called as n-grams. Sir, what is meant by this n-grams? Grams means nothing but n means number, one or two or three, whatever the number, it is nested number. Now, for example, there is a sentence like this. I love natural language processing. You are having an example like this. I love natural language processing. For example, you are applying the 1 gram. 1 gram, which is also called as unique gram. 1 gram is also called as unique gram. If you apply the unique gram, first I will be taken separately, love will be taken separately, natural will be taken separately, language and processing. Each word will be separated, separately. If you take a 2 gram, 2 gram is also called as bigram. When you go with the bigram, it is going to combine the two words. I love natural, natural language, and language processing. It is going to combine two words into one word. It is going to check how many times I love words repeated, how many times love natural was repeated, how many times natural language was repeated, how many times language processing was repeated. It is going to check a combination of the words. Now, similarly, 3 gram. 3 gram is with respect to also called as trigrams, which is nothing but three words. That is, I love natural language, natural language processing. This is called as trigrams. Apart from trigrams, what are the number we are having? Everything is considered as n-grams. Remaining everything are considered as n-grams. 4, 5, 6, all these things. Sir, where we are going to use this one? For example, let us take like this. In your mail, you have written with respect to some mail. Okay. If you open a Gmail, inside the Gmail, you have compose. You have written some mail. In that mail, you are writing thanks. And if you write like this, automatically it shows you the next word as regards. It will print the regards automatically. It shows this one. Why it is showing this one means these three of them multiple times it has got repeated. Where it is applied based on the trigrams, the concept of trigrams. Okay. For example, if you are writing I love, automatically the third word, it shows the, right? Automatically. Why? Because these two along with this third, what is the third word was generated means this is the third word. For example, you have written like this. Okay. After this, for example, still you are continuing your sentence. Now it is going to check 4 gram words out of all the 4 grams words with respect to I love you, with respect to what is the fourth word is there. It is going to check. Okay. So just it is going to apply the concept called as n-grams. N-grams means combination of the words. N-grams means nothing but simply to say combination of words. N-grams is nothing but combination of words. Now you are going to observe in your documents, in your corpus, how many times instead of I separately, love separately, natural separately, language separately, processing separately. Now you are going to check with respect to I love word, how many times it got repeated. For example, trigrams you are applying, how many times I love natural. I love natural you are considering as a single word and you are counting that one. Instead of counting I separately in your first document, how many times I word is there? How many in the second document, how many times I word is there? In the third document, how many times I word is there? Instead of counting like this, now you are counting a combination of I love. A combination of two words you are going to check. A combination of three words. A combination of four words. So there, in that situation, we are going to apply the n-grams concept, right? And next concept is called as POS tagging, which is also called as parts of speech tagging. Here, the parts of speech is an important one. Whatever the sentence you are going to write, for example, you have written some sentence in the Word document. In the Word document, you have written some sentence. If it is having some kind of grammatical mistake, it is going to print red color like this, right? You are going to get some kind of red color. And if you go right click on that, it is going to show which is the correct sentence. The correct sentence, right? That concept is working based on the parts of speech tagging. That concept works based on the parts of speech tagging. Which sentence has to be formed after which one? Means the words in which order it has to form. First verb, after that noun, or which one? There is a combination, right? As per the English grammar, we are having the combination, right? It is checking as per the grammar it is forming or not, right? So what is meant by parts of speech tagging means here, for example, let us take I love natural language processing. Now, out of which I love natural language processing, what I'm going to do is word tokenize. What is meant by word tokenize? I love natural language processing. Each of them is considered as separate word. That is called as word tokenize. We are breaking into words. Tokenize means breaking into parts. Word tokenize means breaking into the words. Now, after breaking into the words, for example, let me write like this. Whatever the words you are having, let me print the words, list of words. This is the list of words. For this list of words, what we are going to do is, first we are going to check for each of the word, what is the corresponding parts of speech. First, I belongs to PRP. Love belongs to VBP. Natural belongs to JJ. Language belongs to NNP. Processing belongs to NN. Now, what is meant by this PRP? PRP means Prajarajam Party. No, right? So, PRP means what? Here, if you want to see what is meant by PRP, just we are going to use the help file. In the here we are going to write with respect to PRP. Right? So, PRP is a pronoun. PRP means pronoun. I comes under pronoun. Love comes under with respect to VBP. That is nothing but verb. It is considered as verb. If you want to see this natural comes under JJ, which is nothing but adjective. Now, language, NNP. NN is there, NNP also is there. NNP. First, let us complete the NNP. What is meant by NNP means proper noun. This is called as proper noun. Within the nouns, we are having different types of nouns are there. Out of which this belongs to proper noun. A noun which is proper and singular nouns. And if you are checking with respect to NN, it is a common noun. That is also noun, but which is common. Which is proper noun and common noun. Right? This is called as POS. So, with respect to POS tagging, what is meant by POS tagging means we are going to tag for each word what is their corresponding parts of speech. And we are going to arrange that one. For example, whenever you are writing in the Word document a sentence, if it is not as per the sentence, as per the English syntax. So, for example, I will complete NLP topic today. Okay, something sentence is there. Instead of will, if I write here, I was complete. Now, it is going to check with respect to whenever there is a word of today is there. Today is with respect to present one. For present one, how we can use the verb of past one. So, whenever I have written the same sentence in the Word document, automatically it is going to throw one type of error like this. Some red color I am going to get down like this. If I right click on that and if I rectify, here instead of was, it will show the will. So here automatically how the will it is showing, because based on the parts of speech, here whatever you are having the present one based on the present one. Right? So for example, here the present one, or with respect to, let us write something like this, tomorrow. Tomorrow is with respect to the future. For the future, future verbs. Present means present verbs. Whatever the present verbs are future verbs, based on that, it is going to rectify that sentence. That will be working based on the POS tagging.